Okay, we're heading toward Point Lobos State Reserve. It's conveniently just a couple miles out of Carmel by the sea on the one. There's a long line of cars. It's a one-lane highway, so at this point it's almost easier to park outside the park, not pay for parking, and then just walk in, sort of like a quarter mile. But it's a beautiful day.
Point Lobos, it's one of those places you can't miss if you're driving the coast. This reserve protects 1,325 acres of headlands and coves, and it's been called the crown jewel of California's state park system.
Coming out of the forest and coming up on this little cove, and we have Granite Point Trail right here. And I happen to know from previous visits, we'll eventually end up going that way, but right now, we'll go this way, probably go around there, and then have to retrace our steps to come back. And that's the Whalers Cottage right there. Then we'll be continuing up there, get a little bit of climb going over there. And there's another beautiful viewpoint up there.
This land was purchased in 1933 specifically for preservation after decades of commercial use nearly destroyed it. The full perimeter loop is about 6.6 miles. It took us just over 3 hours, but that's because Jason stopped every few hundred feet to photograph bugs and plants for his iSeek app. The trail itself is not difficult. We saw elementary school-age kids, grandparents, and even an entire field trip group. This is one of those hikes that pretty much anyone can do.
All right, we're officially on the other side. We were there. We've come around. And now we were at the Granite Point, and now we're in the opposite direction of it. And the Whalers Cottage is right here. So we're going to go take a quick look inside the Whalers Cottage.
The west side near Whalers Cove is calm. Protected waters, gentle coastline. But Whalers Cove wasn't always this peaceful. In the 1860s and 70s, this cove was an active whaling station. Whalers processed gray whales, humpbacks, and right whales here, boiling blubber down into oil right on the shore. By the early 1900s, a coal chute operation moved in, and then an abalone cannery. This place was industrial for decades. Now, it's one of the most pristine dive sites in California. Jason was in heaven with the iSeek app, stopping to identify every species he came across. The transformation is hard to wrap your head around when you're standing there looking at how untouched it feels now.
That's the one. That's where we came from. You can see the cars parked in the distance. That's where we parked. Walked in. Now we're at the Granite Trail. Okay, we're on our way to Cypress Grove, which for some reason is a very popular spot. Last time when we were here, someone said that someone made a TikTok about it, kind of blew up as a result of that. It's pretty. I don't know if it's the prettiest point. It's also definitely much more windy on this side. It's much more exposed. We're coming up on Cypress Grove, or Cypress Point, walking through a grove of cypress.
Cypress Point, the rocky outcrop at the tip where everyone wants their photo with the ancient Monterey cypress trees framing the Pacific behind them. These trees only grow naturally in 2 places on Earth, here and at Pebble Beach. Some of the trees at Point Lobos are over 250 years old. The wind has twisted them into these sculptural shapes that look like they're frozen mid-motion.
I don't know if you can hear me well, but I wanted to share a realization that I've had on this trail. I think I shared before that Jason uses this iSeek app to identify different plants and animals and trees, and he just is having so much fun. It's kind of like a kid in a candy store when he comes upon a new species. And for me, I just want to hike. Like, I want to get the heart rate up, and I want to be a good partner for him. So, we'll stop along the way. And then what I realized is that he is on trails what I am in museums. I want to stop and read every plaque, learn about the artist, learn about the piece of work that I'm seeing in front of me, and he wants to whiz through the entire museum at record speed. And so there's an opportunity here for us both to learn some patience and grace for each other.
From Cypress Point on, the trail curves east and everything changes. The wind picks up, the ocean goes from calm to aggressive, and you go from sheltered cove to full exposed Pacific coast in less than a mile. My hair was whipping around in every direction. This is where Point Lobos shows you what wild California coastline actually looks like. Rugged, raw. Waves crashing into rock formations with serious force.
So different from where we started, which was so sheltered.
The eastern side is all coastal drama. I spotted baby sea otters with their parents in a couple of different spots, pelicans diving offshore, and the occasional seabirds. But honestly, the coastline itself is doing all the heavy lifting here. The wildlife is a bonus. The real draw is watching the Pacific do what it does best.
Look at this. Incredible little spot.
Point Lobos became California's first underwater reserve in 1960, protecting the kelp forests and marine life offshore. But the land protection came earlier in 1933 when the state purchased this peninsula specifically to stop the industrial damage. Before that, granite quarrying, coal operations, whaling, and abalone canning. This place was being stripped for profit. Walking the full perimeter now, knowing what it looked like a century ago, their transformation is absolutely staggering. The reserve proves that coastal ecosystems can recover if you actually protect them long enough. The trail is accessible. The views are unreal.
The windy area. Look at that area that's completely dead. Check out this little cave. We're 5 miles in to show you how far we've come. So we were all the way on the other side over there. We walked along that. Back through there, back through these. I don't know if you can see people up there. That's where we were. Around this little lollipop called Berta. And then we're heading back for the final mile home stretch back to the entrance of Point Lobos. It's an amazing hike. You definitely want to stay along the perimeter so you get all the ocean views. I mean, there's inland hiking too, but why would you want to do that? Home stretch. Last half mile and we're back into the forest. We left the coast behind, the wild Pacific way. It was quite extraordinary. Such different views from where we started in the cove, Granite Point, Whalers cabin, and then onto the, I guess, eastern side of the cove. And it just got windier and wilder, and if you weren't careful, you were going to lose your phone.
3 miles from Carmel by the sea on Highway 1, so there's no excuse not to see what conservation looks like when it's done right. This is what we stand to lose if we don't protect the coastline. And this is what we get back when we do. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel guides. I post new destinations every Thursday at 2 p.m. Remember, we're savoring the world mindfully, one bite at a time. Until next time, keep gallivanting.